There's a table in front of you. On it, a stick of cinnamon, a small capsule of berberine, and a grape skin extract called resveratrol. These three ingredients show up in dozens of blood sugar support products. But here's the question almost nobody asks. Are they actually doing anything? Or are they just names on a label that make you feel like you're doing something right? That's what we're going to break down today. Not the hype, not the marketing. The actual story behind natural ingredients and how they relate to metabolic support. Because here's the thing, the word natural is everywhere right now. Natural this, plant-based that. And while that's not a bad thing, it has created a lot of confusion. People assume that if something comes from nature, it automatically works. And companies know that, so they put the word natural on everything, add a few herbal extracts to a formula and call it a blood sugar solution. But natural doesn't mean effective. And effective doesn't mean every product with that ingredient actually delivers it in the right form, the right dose, or the right combination. So what actually matters? That's what we need to talk about. Let's start with cinnamon. This is probably the most recognized ingredient in the natural metabolic space, and for good reason. Research has looked at how cinnamon extract, particularly a compound called MHCP, may interact with the way cells respond to insulin. The idea is that it could support the pathways that allow glucose to enter cells more efficiently. Now, this doesn't mean eating cinnamon on your oatmeal every morning is going to transform your metabolism. The form matters. The type of cinnamon matters. The concentration matters. Ceylon cinnamon and cassia cinnamon are not the same thing. The dose used in studies is rarely what ends up in a random capsule at a health store. But when the right form is used at a meaningful level, cinnamon extract has been one of the more studied natural ingredients in relation to metabolic support, and that's worth understanding. Now let's talk about berberine. This one is less familiar to most people, but it's been generating serious attention in the research world for years. Berberine is a compound found in several plants, including barberry and golden seal. What makes it interesting is how it may work at the cellular level, specifically around a pathway called AMPK, which plays a role in how the body manages energy and glucose metabolism. Some researchers have described berberine as one of the more fascinating natural compounds studied in connection with metabolic health. But again, the source, the form, and the dose all affect what ends up in your body and what it does when it gets there. A small amount of berberine in a formula with 15 other ingredients is not the same as a focused, quality-controlled extract. And then there's resveratrol. You've probably heard of this one in the context of red wine and longevity research. Resveratrol is a polyphenol, a type of plant compound with antioxidant properties. What has drawn researchers to it is its potential role in supporting cellular health under metabolic stress. Some studies have looked at how resveratrol may support insulin sensitivity and reduce oxidative pressure on cells dealing with glucose fluctuations. Here's where it gets interesting. These three ingredients, cinnamon, berberine, and resveratrol, have each been studied independently. But the research conversation has started to shift toward asking what happens when they're combined thoughtfully, with intention around metabolic support. If you've ever tried a natural supplement before and wondered whether it was really doing anything, tell me in the comments where you're watching from, and whether you've ever actually looked at the ingredient list before buying, because most people haven't, and that's part of the problem. The metabolic supplement market is crowded. You have products that list 10 or 15 ingredients, but each one at a dose so small it would have no meaningful effect. You have products that use the right ingredient name but the wrong form, like using cassia cinnamon instead of a standardized Ceylon extract. And you have products that are built around a single-star ingredient and ignore the fact that metabolic support is a system, not a switch. What actually moves the needle, based on the research, is a combination of quality, dose, form, and consistency. A single ingredient at a trace amount does very little. The same ingredient at a studied dose and a bioavailable form, used consistently as part of a healthy routine, that's a different conversation. And this is where the idea of a multi-ingredient formula designed specifically around metabolic support becomes interesting. Not as a replacement for a healthy diet or regular movement, not as a substitute for medical guidance, but as a daily support tool, something designed to complement the habits you're already building. Glycoharmony is a formula built around this exact principle. It combines ingredients including cinnamon extract, berberine, and resveratrol in a formulation focused on supporting healthy blood sugar balance as part of a consistent routine. It's not positioned as a treatment. It's a support option designed for people who want to take their metabolic habits seriously and want their daily supplement to actually reflect the science. That's a different category than the average label with a long list of plant names in tiny doses. Understanding what's in your supplement, why it's there, and whether the dose and form are meaningful. That's the kind of information that separates people who are genuinely building a healthier metabolic routine from people who are just buying the idea of one. Natural ingredients can be part of a smarter approach to metabolic health, but only when they're chosen carefully, dosed thoughtfully, and used consistently, alongside the other habits that matter. If you want to take a closer look at the ingredient formula mentioned in today's video, including the specific combination and what it was designed to support, check the link in the first pinned comment.